Assalamu alaikum. Today is Ramadan day 6, and I'll be making a vanilla cake. I've made it before, but this time I'll be adding pudding to it. So I already softened the 2 sticks of butter and the 8 ounce of cream cheese, and all I need to do is cream it together with sugar. Technically, it's supposed to be room temperature, but I'm not trying to. It's cold in the house, so and room temperature would be hard and whatnot. And I'm not trying to take hours because I just took it out of the refrigerator like several minutes ago. So no, I ain't got time to wait for it to get to room temperature. Okay. Okay. I need to wipe this mess down because it's getting my nerves. Ow. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, I did add 2 cups of white sugar. Okay. Because sometimes I forget to like write all the ingredients down. I skip over something, so I so I had to make sure that 2 cups and this is 1/4, so I need 8. It wants me to use a blender for it. Technically, they're using like a fancy, KitchenAid blender. Or no, mixer, not blender. But I don't have that. And this recipe is actually pretty easy. This time around, I don't have the baking powder, but I do have baking soda. And I think it's like 1/4 or 1/2 of baking powder equals the same as 1/4 of baking soda should equal the amount of 1 teaspoon. I need to double check. Okay, it's getting there. You can see. Okay, so I looked it up and I was correct about the baking powder. Okay, I want to start on my dry ingredients. It calls for 3 cups of flour. 1, 2, 3. You might hear the cats in the background playing around. They're not in here. Can y'all go somewhere, please? Okay, next is the baking soda. No, baking powder, which is, I'm going to put 1/4. Because 1/4 of baking soda equals 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So there we go. And then 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Let me just use 2 of these. So there. 1.5 teaspoons salt. And you're hearing Bella mostly. Midnight doesn't make that noise. Yeah, and that's all with the. Let me get up. Okay. And then wet. Okay. 6 eggs. Six more eggs. Mix that together before I get the eggs in. 1 cup milk. And 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. I'm putting the vanilla pudding. I'm supposed to be blending, using a blender right now, or a mixer, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not going to put it up in here. No. No. Because I was just mixing it up and accidentally spilled some on the counter, so I'm going to pour that up in here. So I'm not going by the instructions of the recipe. I never really do. Because I usually just do it in my order. That's why I only put written down like a little bit of the instructions. I ain't gonna run all that mess down anyway. I do not want my hands cramping or hurting. So still a pretty good amount. I'm always afraid of the stuff splashing all over the place. Okay, and that's like all the ingredients is cost for the cake better. So yeah. Alright, I'll do it. Oh, I forgot to bring it. I'll get that later. Get this blended. I have a lot of it blended together, but it's getting really thick, so I'm gonna try to use the old-fashioned hand blender. Mixer. I'm not trying to have my arms and stuff hurt. That's for sure. I don't know how my mother did this. Like, she used to make stuff from scratch all the time. Which is why I make stuff from scratch. So, But she didn't do a whole lot of cakes. She mainly did, when she did cakes, usually from a box. Unless it was like carrot cake or something like that. But she used to always bake though, like baked bread. So I had to cut off that light. because there's only one outlet right here. There's an outlet on the other side, but there's a whole lot of stuff over there. A lot of more dishes for me to clean up that wasn't cleaned up yesterday. Because no one should do the dishes half the time other than me. And doing the dishes and the cooking and all that other stuff, that's a lot. Okay. I have never seen it like that before. This is like probably one of the thickest cakes I've done. But that did help to like cream it out a little bit. This mess is so thick. Bundt pan, because that's the only cake pan I have. But this time I want to make sure that I thoroughly get it nice and coated. Because the last time I made this cake, I did not do it properly. I don't like this. Oh, this is so thick. Do it in scoops. I really don't want to try to pick up that bowl. That bowl is heavy. Ooh. Okay, get that off the sides a little bit because I know that would be the first thing that burns. Okay. Not up to temperature yet. So when it's up to temperature, then it'll go into the oven. In the meantime, I'll be focusing on dinner. So it just got up to temperature. So I'm gonna use have the pan underneath it just in case it overflows. But no, actually, I'm gonna have it underneath. Have it the rack below, not above, because that might affect how it heats up the cake pan. So the cake is currently done. Gotta let it cool down, and then of course went up a bit farther than the pan itself. It looks like it went down just a smidge since I took it out the oven, because it seemed to be a little higher. But okay, that is the chicken I fried up for dinner, and I'm doing potatoes in here, and I need to do gravy, and I need to do more stuff. But what are you trying to eat off the floor? Because you always trying to eat something that you ain't supposed to be eating. Oh, goodness. There she go again. Bella will not let me be. Bella. One little piece. Actually, two little pieces. You can kind of see the steam coming off of that. Okay, so I did 2 cups. Put in here. And this requires a cup of milk. No, it doesn't. I'm looking at the wrong thing. 3 tablespoons. And then see how much. I have a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Half. Oops. I did a little bit more than half. But whatever. I had the lid over it so I can go upstairs and grind up the sugar. Because I do not want cats getting into nothing and they still be trying to get on the counter, even though I don't want them to be on the counter. And they know whenever they hear me coming downstairs or anybody coming, they jump down because they know they're not supposed to be up there. Add more milk to it, that is. It's still warm, so yeah, I expect it to run off the sides a little. Here we go. The cake is done. I need to probably take a better picture of it and move all the stuff out the way. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.